This is the MimiSilk Iris 1450 nanometer advanced skin renewing device. Today we're talking specifically about anti-aging beauty. This is a non-ablative fractional laser. Yes, it's actually a laser. And that may sound similar to things that you've heard of at med spas like Fraxel, which is a fractional laser. So similar but different, and here's how it's different. An ablative laser is kind of like if you were to go out and just rip up your whole lawn, plant a whole new lawn, right? It's going to be a painful process. It's going to take a while for that grass to grow in, to see results, and your yard's going to look really yucky in the meantime. With a non-ablative fractional laser, what you're doing is you're actually creating, I like to call them micro injuries on your face. Think of it like you're aerating your lawn. And so you're improving it and letting it fill in and letting it look better. And it's not going to be as noticeable to other people, but it might be noticeable to you. So more or less, you're getting a similar type of treatment. It's a similar thing to help resurface your skin, to help with acne marks, to help with large pores, to help with fine lines, to help with collagen. That's what it's for. But instead of going to a med spa, for example, and paying thousands of dollars and coming home and having days and days and days, or maybe even weeks of downtime, this is an at-home device meant to be used over time. So typically they recommend you use it for an 8-week period, and then you take a 4-week break to let your skin heal, and then you can start the process again. So this is a repeatable process that you can do with this device. Now let's talk about using the device. Let me tell you how I think you should do this, at least for the first 4 weeks. Down here on the bottom, we've got a charging port right there. It does come with a charge, but you should probably charge it fully before you get started. You have a power button, you have a zone button, and on the back you have an area for the fan because this does get hot, not hot to the touch, but the laser is going to be creating some heat energy. So we're going to start by turning it on. Press the button, you'll see 3 green lights. That indicates the battery level. So if you have 3 green lights, that means you're fully charged. 2 and 1 means you probably could use some charging. So this light indicates that it's on. Now, you're seeing 1 white light, which means it is at its lowest intensity of power. So it does have 3 intensities, low, medium, and full intensity. If you are not sure how your skin will react, and that's what I did, I started for the first week with the lowest intensity. If your skin tolerates that well, then the second week, I would move to doing the second level of intensity. And by the 3rd week, I was at the highest level of intensity. And do you feel a difference? Oh, you bet you do. It's not necessarily a comfortable feeling, but we'll get to that in a minute. So once you have your intensity set, you're going to see some different regions up here, and these are for the different parts of the face. And this is great because it's already pre-programmed for the correct amount of time for each area of the face. We have the forehead, the periorbital area, that's around your eye. And if I press it again, you're going to see periorbital again. That's because you've got 2 different sides of the face. Press it again, we get the cheek, which is the largest surface area. And again, because we got 2 cheeks, we press it again and we'll get timing for the other side. Then we have the upper lip, and then we have the chin. So now that I've shown you what the device looks like, the best way for you to really get a sense of it is for me to show you exactly how to use it. When we are using the device, we are going to start by getting all the hair off of our face. So I'm fresh out of the shower, I don't have anything on my skin. You want to use bare skin when you're using the device. You're going to turn it on. For me, I'm up to the highest intensity level, so I make sure it's at level 3. And then I'm going to select forehead. When you're using the device on your forehead or anywhere, they recommend the rate of speed at which you move it is about 1 centimeter per second. The reason you want to do it that quickly is because you don't want to actually burn any of your skin. Yes, you can actually burn it. Now, before we get too deep into this, I do want to show you that in the instruction booklet, this page is going to be very important. This will show you the different zones of your face and how long the device will remain active depending on what part of the face you're using and what intensity you're using. This is the other important page, which shows you which part of the face corresponds to the different region of the device. And you'll notice when I'm using the device that I'm generally using up and down, side to side, back and forth. And you can do either one. The main thing is you want to make sure that you get complete coverage and that you don't hesitate on any particular area for too long. When you finish the forehead area, you're going to go to the periorbital area, which is right around here of the eyes. Now you can go under the eyes. I don't recommend it, number one, because you don't want the laser anywhere near your eyes, and because the thinner the skin, the more uncomfortable the feeling is. For me, the forehead is the one that bothers me the most. So they do recommend starting from the top down. So if the forehead bothers you, don't be afraid. It probably will get better as you go down. So then we're going to move to the cheeks. You can go near the edges of the nose if you want. And I'm going to show you a very speeded up version of the entire cheek, just because I want you to get a sense of how long you're going to be using it, especially when you're in that highest level of intensity. Once you're finished both cheeks, I won't torture you by making you watch both cheeks, you're going to switch to the upper lip area. And this is where I really get those nasolabial folds right here and right above the lip. Some people find this very painful. It doesn't really bother me too much, and it's a pretty quick cycle. And then the last cycle is going to be your chin, and this is where I really focus on the bottom area, these marionette line areas, and anything I might have missed along the jawline. So if this is the first time that you've used this and you're running into some issues, it's totally okay, because I did too, and so have other people. So the biggest issue that you'll find, and it's the biggest issue I had, is that it is not consistently emitting the laser on your face. It maybe will stop or it will skip, and you're going to be like, what is wrong with this? Well, a couple things. Number one, make sure your battery is fully charged. Number two, you want to make sure that this area is completely flush with the skin. You don't have to press it down, but it needs to be flush with the skin. And then the third thing is, and this is the thing that people don't realize, if you're doing all of that and you're still having issues, you need to clean, this is where the cleaning cloth comes in, you need to clean that glass area. Even if it looks clean, I'm telling you, you get oils, you get dirt, just give it a good wipe and it should start working again immediately. The only other issue that I ran into is I couldn't get it to turn back on, and that is because if you hold the on or off button for too long, it puts it in child lock mode, which is a good thing, but you have to remember to take it out of child lock, and this is all covered in the instruction book. So after we're done, then your face, maybe, if you're like mine, will feel really red and really dry. And listen, I do not normally have dry skin, so this has been a whole new world for me because I am not used to dealing with dry skin. The last thing to talk about is what happens the morning after. You can either wash it, or if you don't want to dry it off, I usually will just splash it with some cold water. And then this is a really important step. Because your skin is very sensitive, you are going to need to make sure you have extra protection from the sun. So if you are not doing the thing you're supposed to do, which is wear SPF every day, do it this time. I did a video on this a while ago, and I've been using this because L'Oreal sent this to me. This is the L'Oreal Revitalift Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 30. So this is an all-in-one moisturizer and SPF, and I've been using that religiously. So I'll give you some before and afters, but they're not going to be dramatic. It hasn't been 8 weeks. What I want to know from you is this something that you're thinking about? Do you have questions for me? If so, please leave them below. Leave a comment, because then I can answer and other people that are interested can see it. Are you interested in picking up the device? Because I got a link for that down below too. And do you want to see my results at 8 weeks? If so, make sure you like and subscribe and leave me a note so that I can come back at 8 weeks. And I'm not just going to show you some filtered view. By the way, I don't wear any makeup on my face. I use a little eye makeup and a little lip stuff, but all the rest is just my natural skin tone. And so I will show you the close-up versions of the pores and the lines, and we can see the before and afters, and you can decide if this is something that you want to invest in. Hey, you know what? It's cheaper than a spa, and you can use it again and again and again.